All right, welcome back in. Nick Wright in for Colin Cowherd on The Herd. And look at what we're doing. Doing like an old school television show here on The Herd. And I asked him when I do an interview on The Herd if I'm supposed to have my seat up about 6 feet higher than it is. My dear friend, Coach Eric Mangini, with us. I'm not going to make Coach congratulate me on, my hard-fought Super Bowl victory that he doubted all year.
You did so much work for that.
I did. Listen, man, you got
OTAs. You get fan of the year.
All of it. Did you say fan of the year?
Fan of the year.
How dare you? All right, I want to start with a guy you know really well, Brian Daboll.
Okay.
So there's reporting Daniel Jones wants $45 million. I actually think that might just be trying to, prime the pump for no. $37 million would be fine to make that seem more reasonable. I think they're going to franchise tag him for $32 million. Here's my coaching question there. I think your guy Daboll did a brilliant job in trying to coach around some of Daniel Jones's limitations, lean into his strengths. But if you're going to franchise tag a guy with the hopes of finding out, can he be out? Do we want to give him a long-term deal? Can you as a coach make the decision, all right, we're now going to ask him to do things we don't really know if they're his strengths, so we can determine if he can be our guy for 5 years, even if, week one of the year, it doesn't give us the best chance to win that game? Or do you have to always simply think about, as the head coach, just the right now, or can you have the broader view of it?
Well, you have to have the broader view. When you start getting into this volume of money, you've got to go bigger picture. And Daniel Jones made progress with his completion percentage, did a much better job with turnover in terms of fumbles, his interception to quarterback ratio. There was a lot of positives, but can he really win games? Win games on a consistent level, and can he give you a chance to compete for at least the playoffs and ideally a championship every year? And that's what you got to find out. So this first year, you're really happy with the progress that he made, but he's got to take another jump, and that's why you'd franchise him as opposed to sign him to a long-term deal. If last year was an aberration and you sign him to a long-term deal, you're sunk.
You're sunk.
Yeah, so if you spend this amount of money now, take another look at him, see if he progresses, and to your point, take some more chances with him, figuring that he's going to be further along in the system, further developed as a play caller, seeing the coverages, running the offense, all those things. That should improve significantly in year two in the system.
I actually think, and I understand everyone kills, understandably, the Patriots coaching staff situation this year, but I do think that's kind of what they tried to do this year with Mac Jones. Mac Jones' rookie year was very much, for lack of a better term, a paint-by-numbers offense. And he was very efficient, successful in it. And it felt to me like this year they tried to remove some of those constraints, maybe unintentionally, maybe intentionally, and he didn't show. He went backwards instead of going forwards. Now there's reports, I know you're skeptical of any reports coming out of New England, that they would.
Because they always let information out of New England. That's what we know.
Right. So Albert Breer says they would consider moving off him. Do you buy? Well, let me ask you this. What do you think the Patriots right now think of their quarterback situation as a whole?
I would imagine they feel like it's inconclusive because he has the success that he has his rookie year, and then you make the non-traditional move that they make from an offensive coordinator standpoint. He takes a step back. Now, look, this could just be a step back that a lot of second-year quarterbacks make. This may not just be tied into who they had at offensive coordinator. And you've got to go into year three and say, okay, is the first year the guy that we have, and now he's improved from that, and last year was a mistake that we made, or is last year more indicative of who he is when we do ask him to do more, when we do expect more from him? Because the expectations change from year one to year two, and that skews the evaluation as well.
So I want to go all the way back to the very first year I was doing First Things First. It was on in the mornings. You were there a lot. And my partner at the time, Chris Carter, when we would talk about the Cowboys, he constantly would say the 13-3 year, Dak's rookie year, that might end up being the best chance they had. And they didn't realize it at the time. It was the best chance they had. Perfect storm of a lot of things. And as it turns out, he was right. They haven't had a better regular season. They haven't had a better postseason since then. So for the Eagles, I think Jalen proved a ton to me in the Super Bowl. I was a bit of a skeptic. I thought he was awesome. Roseman's really good. They have extra draft picks. I understand all of that. They also have, ESPN did a list of the 50 best free agents this offseason.
Yep.
7 of them are Eagles. Their future Hall of Fame center, Jason Kelce, might retire. A lot of moving parts here. Do you think for Philadelphia that it's on the board that they look 3 years, 4 years from now, look back on this season as, man, that was the best chance we had to win the Super Bowl, and we were this close and just didn't quite get there?
Well, I would have thought that, and when you look at it, it's 11 starters, too, that are free agents, so it's not just the top 50, but there's 11 guys. But the thing that the Eagles have is they've got continuity in the front office, and they've done a really good job, and this is what all teams with continuity have an advantage over the rest of the league with, is you take advantage of other people's chaos. So they go out and they get Bradbury in a trade. They get A.J. Brown in a trade, and both those organizations had transition. They picked up
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Hassan Riddick was a free agent.
Free agent. Got him on a good deal, too.
And there's another organization that was in chaos. They made some trades. They made a trade right before the deadline, too, and picked up Robert Quinn right from the Bears.
And he didn't even do much for him, but it was...
He didn't do much for him, but it's that ability to take advantage of coaching staffs and organizations that may throw guys out because they don't fit their system, and you get them at a discount. And to me, that ability will give them a chance each year to compete. And I was the same way with Hurts. I was a skeptic, but now I give him a lot of credit for having the courage to move on from Wentz. I mean, they took a huge salary cap hit there.
Huge
hit. They pushed forward a guy that a lot of people didn't believe in, and Hurts has proven them to be right. So their window is different because of the way that they've been able to navigate through and take advantage of a lot of teams in the league.
Okay, since you brought up the Super Bowl, let's talk about the other team in it for a moment. So we talk about windows, and I know a lot of people, to your credit, you gave Mahomes credit a few years ago for taking the contract that he did, where it's not going to be right now, he's on average the 5th highest paid quarterback in football, and when Herbert, Burrow, Hurts, maybe Lamar get new deals, it's only going to go down. He could be the 10th highest paid guy at his position at the start of next year. But it wasn't, the other part of that is, it's a 10-year commitment from Kansas City that the guaranteed money is misleading. I don't want to get into it. It's way more than it seems because his full salary and bonuses for the next year activate as guaranteed a year early. So in order to ever cut him, it would kill him. So it was risk on both sides, but it obviously has worked out really well for everybody involved. They ostensibly take a step back and trade Tyreek Hill. They play all these rookies. They win the Super Bowl anyway. Are the Chiefs now in a position, in your opinion, where they become the team that has the added benefit of older player, he's made his money, got a couple good years left, and is like, you know what, all I want to do is win a championship. I'll play there for a discount. You guys in New England became that at some point. Do you think that Kansas City is now in that position?
Absolutely. Kansas City has so many advantages. And the reason I respect what Patrick Mahomes so much, and look, I was slow to come around, and I am slow on all these quarterbacks because it takes time. But when you've got a guy that has success and says, I don't need every single cent that I can get, I want other guys on my team to get that. One, it's a great message for the locker room. Two, it shows vision. It shows leader. It shows all these great characteristics. So you've got.
And then, by the way, Kelce did the same thing.
Yeah,
when his contract was up, and he's the best tight end, one of them ever. I think the best ever. But go ahead. It's
tremendous because they see a much bigger picture, and that resonates with the guys in the locker room. That resonates with guys in the league. And if you're in that phase of your career where you've made a lot of money and now you want to go get a ring, you're thinking, this is where I want to go play. Not only do I have a great quarterback and a great locker room and a great situation, and there's young players emerging, but you've got a place that looks like it's pretty fun to play as well. Like it's not like you're just – New England can be a terrible grind, and you pay the price to win there. And I'm not saying that they don't work as hard in Kansas City, but it's a different feel to it.
Playing ring around the Rosie.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty fun. No. So from a marketing standpoint, yeah, if I'm a veteran guy, especially if I'm a defensive guy, if I can go make that defense better,
Yep.
and potentially win a ring or multiple rings, it's a great place.
Back to back, Coach. I mean, nobody's done it since.
I mean,
you
it's
guys.
been a long time.
It's been a long time.
How many years have it been?
It's been, I mean, 03, 04, so it's been almost 20 years. But, everything great comes to an end. The Patriots being the premier franchise, that comes to an end. The Chiefs replacing it. Brady's tenure as the GOAT, that eventually will come to an end. It'll be great. And you know what? Everything you just said, you know what it sounded like to me?
What's that?
Odell Beckham to the Chiefs. A few $1 million. Why not, Odell? Come get a second ring.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.